Hi guys. Hi everyone. I am Owen. And this event is about me. So thank you for coming. Thank you for the Strand for hosting this event. And I will introduce the people you actually paid money for. But before I do, I just wanted to let you guys know that you guys look absolutely amazing. I can't see you, but I feel it. Okay, so she is the creator, writer, and star of the critically acclaimed web series 86 and author of her new book of essays, No One Asked for This, which just released yesterday. Welcome one of my best friends, Cazzie David. So you have to sit, I guess. I know it's awkward.
He promised he wasn't gonna introduce me like that.
Yeah, but I had to. Oh my God, this is so cute. Okay, we're introducing the main one, the real girl, the one you're all here for. She's an Emmy Award-winning and Tony-nominated stand-up comedian, actress, writer, producer, director, and New York Times bestseller. And she texted me yesterday saying she loved me more than her family, which was weird. Amy Schumer, welcome, Amy Schumer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kaz.
Hi. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for asking me.
I have
Before you start, I
yeah.
just have to say how much I love your book. And there was a chance. No, I knew I was gonna love it. I have thought you were so funny for so long, and I love the book. And I have probably 50 pages left, and I have savored every page, and it really made me laugh. I really relate to it, and I just thanks for writing it.
Stop.
It's a lot. Okay. All right. Okay.
I hope you cut me some slack. I know you perform in front of thousands and thousands of people, and I've never spoken to a crowd of 10. So this has been like definitely
which I want to talk to you about.
Okay. We should talk about it.
Okay, well, let's talk about it right now. So there's a part of your book where I did not know this, that you talk about. And first of all, I'm sorry. It's so funny, and it made me laugh out loud. And Chris, my husband, like laughing out loud while you're reading a book in bed is a hostile thing to do. Because it's just like, but I mean, I would say I've laughed out loud like maybe 12 times, and that's so much for a book.
Yeah, I would be happy with one. And but
right, one
even none is fine. Even if you
remember one,
like, oh, that's funny.
Exactly, but I just like I just love this book so much. And wait, what was the thing I was just gonna say?
You were gonna ask me about my desire to be a stand-up comedian. I identify as a stand-up comedian with stage fright.
But the thing is,
like
you get over stage fright, because this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Because you would be such a great stand-up.
Maybe I can't even do a Zoom with you, who's my friend, with these people watching. Truly.
Okay. Well, don't think about it. Don't think about them. Because they, it's like, even though, what's up, people? And thank you for Strand. But no, stand up. The thing is, and I thought about this while reading your book so many times. Like all your fears of stand up, they all come true. They all happen. Like all your, like they all happen, and then you're still okay. It's like a box. Even though I've never been in a boxing match, it's like you're scared of getting hit, then you get hit, and you're like, okay, that was okay, except for the few times when people died. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, and then everything, you become so numb to it.
The problem is that, like, I actually read in your book that you say, it takes a lot of practice. You have to keep going to shows, keep doing it. Like, what would I would start now, and like people don't know who I am, but like one person could be like, oh wow, like Larry David's daughter is like trying to do stand up now. Like, oof.
So what? They're gonna go right back to thinking about themselves.
I think I would have to be anonymous to be like really anonymous to be able to like start from scratch, really try.
I think you could. Like I would love to see you.
I'm sure you
would stand up. No. It'll be 5 years of like that, like anybody, it's like anything else. It's like you have to work really hard to get better at it.
Mhm.
But can I ask you a couple questions from your book? Just a couple, even though it's not an interview.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Okay.
There's things I need some advice on also during this
Okay.
press process that I would love to pick your brain about.
Okay, because like I wrote that down. I actually sent you some screenshots last night of just things that I never thought I was going to show you. Just like, you know, it's like I like when I read a book to just, you know, highlight parts so I remember, like even if I'm not going to talk to the person. And so it was kind of fun to get to send you like my real thoughts, you know.
It was interesting that you thought I would be able to read your handwriting, but
Wait, how about when I switched from a pen to a pencil halfway through and then you actually can't read anything?
you did send me one with like just question marks, and it's like, so did you not understand like what I wrote?
I know. Well, that's the thing. Okay, so like here's an example. So it's like, see, can you even see like light pencil? What does it say? It says perfect description. That's what I wrote. And let's see what this is. Oh, it talks about jealousy. Darwin once said jealousy is a survival tactic, but if that's the case, why does it make me feel like I'm dying? And I wrote down next to it perfect description because jealousy is like a full body experience. And yeah. Oh, and then wait, at the top of the page, I wrote this changes. Like so much of this book. This changes. So much of this book, I related to, as you know, I'm 39. I related to it.
That's actually so brave of you to say your age. I have a ton of cousins that are, once they reach 30, I have no idea how old they are now. And it's been like 15 years. I don't even know.
No, but it's like then after you turn 40, it's like, then you can stop. I think then you can stop counting. It's just like, you know, I scratched my nose and now it's just like red and I regret it. You just like I give the ring light too much credit. I want to know, let me just ask you like 3 questions from the book. Okay, this is not mentioned in the book, but do you think your dad has autism spectrum disorder? I can ask that. My husband has autism spectrum disorder.
I know. So,
and would he think that? Does he think that he has it? And I should say this: I'm good friends with your father.
Yes, you are. Which, by the way, you guys, that is how this is happening.
Ew! No, it's not. I never think about it. I never think about it.
Everyone just went, oh.
No, I'm independently friends with your mom, your dad, and you. And you are 3 such separate people to me. You know?
Autism. Tell me if this is like, if you're talking to someone and they're just like not listening to you and you're saying things like, Dad, I'm pregnant, or like, Dad, like gonna go rob a bank, and they genuinely can't hear you even though they're in front of you and looking at you.
Yeah.
Is that something you experience with Chris?
Yeah.
My mom legitimately thinks my dad has autism, and she's like, Cazzie, it must, you know.
Yeah.
I need to tell you this, your dad, he has autism. Yeah,
I don't think it's like something.
I don't know if he does.
I think I don't know if he does either, but I would be really curious to, you know his test results. But you know, a lot of my favorite people, including my husband, have autism spectrum disorder, and so yeah, and it sounds like a lot of the guys you've dated have had it also. I like when you describe your type of guy in the book. Wait, can I just ask? So when you finish writing this book, and then it's like, okay, it's all in. You can't make any changes. How much do you feel like you've changed emotionally since this book was printed?
Well, it's weird because, I mean, honestly, I all of my anxieties that I write about in the book, like, I'm still the same. I'm just like anxious about new things. So I'm like embarrassed about the things I was anxious about when I wrote the book, because like I'm still super anxious about, they just feel like more mature anxieties.
Yeah.
They're really not, like, they're all just like totally surface level.
Well, okay. You have a lot of irrational fear, but then, and you also have a lot of rational fear. It's like, it's just, but you know, the reason that I think you are such a stand-up comic at heart is I think the basis of a lot of comics is that they want control. You know, like you have a hard time as a kid, and then from that you have like a bunch of traumatic experiences, and you're like, oh, I just want to control all of this. And so it's like something like, I'm sorry to say the word, but vomiting. That
No, I'm kidding.
no, and wait, but here's what's so funny. I'm reading the book, and it talks about your fear of that.
Yeah.
And it just made me flash to when I was pregnant. I feel like since we met, like we became friends and connected, and we would keep in touch. And when I was pregnant, I feel like you were noticeably not that available to me. And I think it's because I was so sick.
I'm really glad you brought this up. Like, we haven't talked about this. But you would send me like really graphic videos of you.
I had no idea you had a fear of puking.
And that's also, I feel bad, but like that's the reason I haven't been able to watch your documentary. I know
you can never watch my documentary.
I'm not going to, but I know it was amazing, and I'm like so proud of you. But I can't watch it.
No, you can't. Also, the LA Times writer Amy Kaufman. Have you ever spoken to her?
Yeah, she did. She just did a piece on me actually last week.
Oh, okay. She has I know she has some of those fears.
Yeah, talked about that.
But yeah, so it's like, and I really liked the tie-in of like, will you give me $1,000? Can I also just say that I like it's such a cinematic book to me, and I'm sorry to say that, but I was like, I could see all of this being, I would love to see all of these things play out.
Well, it's because we're all like such insane characters, so it's like a super heightened reality that would be like.
Yeah, but I won't give any spoilers. But like a story, as you know, you could break it down by saying it's a story about you losing your cat. Like, you know, your cat getting lost outside. And it's like it was one of the most gripping parts of the book. And I want to suggest, I both have been reading it and also listening to it on Audible.
Why? It's so.
No, I love. How was your? I'm really enjoying getting both experiences. I love hearing you read it. I'm really glad that you did it, and I suggest both of those.
Do you realize? I know you did an audiobook too, and I've noticed when I was like preparing, which was like not really preparing, I listened to like one audiobook before I recorded it.
That's more than I did.
There's this thing called there's this thing that authors do. It's like genuinely like audiobook voice, where it's like, I walked into the trees, they were green.
You don't have audiobook voice.
But I was like, is that like it's almost like a defense mechanism, because you can't really, it's just.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, it's like stand-up. Like when you start doing stand-up, you just are doing like an impression of a comic, because you aren't like one yet. It's like you're not a professional audiobook author. I mean,
my entire audiobook is completely monotone and in vocal fry. And I literally ended up, just for anyone who got the audiobook, I did have to cut lines because I was too embarrassed to say them out loud.
Oh my God.
You will not be getting the full experience.
I'm not going to waste my time trying to get you to see like the amazing person you are. First of all, you're objectively pretty, which is something.
There's something I did want to talk to you about. Okay. You did a film called I Feel Pretty.
Right.
And I remember you got like a lot of public scrutiny because people thought you were too pretty to play this.
They were like, you're not ugly enough to have the level of low self-esteem you have in this movie.
So you can't do anything right. And sorry to deflect from what you said about me, but you can't do anything right because you'll get scrutiny either way.
Yeah. Well, I think that was, yes, but it was probably, that was more like, do you understand that Black people are being murdered in the streets?
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
and, you know, for like it's like with so much else going on, I just feel like that movie was a good barometer of like, we cannot sympathize with this character right now.
I love
in a movie called I Feel Pretty, you know.
I actually experienced my first experience of getting kind of like shit on for something I like did, or like being called like kind of offensive yesterday.
Ooh, can I hear what it do you want to talk about it, or
yeah, I do, because I'm feeling like weird about it, and I would love your advice.
Okay, great.
Basically, I excerpted this essay from the book called Too Full to Fuck.
Yeah.
On the cut. And the cut is like, you know, like I'm really glad they did it, but
that's New York Magazine, right?
Yeah, but it's like a section. It's kind of gotten a little like gossipy, clickbaity.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't know, it just like scared me a little bit. And people started to like, they didn't understand that it was satire. And so they were like, there's something wrong with you. Like scientifically, you can have sex after you eat. And I was just like, like I know. Like, do you like who likes to have sex after they've eaten an entire meal? Like, what am I saying that's so crazy?
No, I mean, here's the thing. Do you have anyone even in your phone that would engage in that way online, who would write like something mean?
No, but I do feel like also in terms of trolls, like the environment's gotten so different. Like I feel like 15 years ago it was like comments like this sucks or like not for me. And now it's like dissecting your entire being, like your character. It's just been like an evolution of like the way people criticize you.
I feel like I'm one of the people who they would point to about seeing the evolution of that. Like I think I'm one of the people who's gotten the most hate online. Not the most, but in terms of like people who do what we do, like people have been pretty furious with me. And I mean, they changed the Netflix rating system because trolls organized.
Right. But you're so like, has it ever stopped you from like saying what you want, or like have you ever taken that into account when writing new material or doing certain things, or are you just kind of like living your life?
Yeah, no, it has. Like I would say I wasted a lot of time, first of all, just trying to be hotter, you know, like just like trying to just like wring out every drop of possible hotness I could.
Mm-hmm.
And then realizing like that's not where my value is. You know, like I'm not a model and that's not my thing. But that's the thing that people go to on the internet. Like that at first me getting trolled was just like, you're gross, you know, you're ugly, you're fat. And it was like, okay, you know, and then it was lies. It was people saying that I stole jokes and people organizing and editing things. You know, it's like I've been really, really shamed. And it made me super careful. Like, okay, somebody will watch my whole set. Let me know if you've ever heard anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But and then things like, but like something like people getting upset about Too Full to Fuck. You just go like, you just have to think, is this something that anyone I am friends with or someone that I would respect would get upset about?
I do realize like picking the wrong excerpt is kind of like, you know, it might not be representative of the whole book. It's like picking the wrong single for like an album release. But
I mean, that's not an example I could connect to, but
I do feel like it, you know, I got like weird, like this is like transphobic because like you're only talking about straight couples or whatever. Like
I understand that that is the new.
Yeah, but if you're like hyper aware, like I always try to find a balance of like being self-aware, like when something makes you kind of sound like an asshole, which like a lot of the time, like you would always sound like an asshole. Like it's really not to sound like an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the reasons I love your book. Like it is very raw and authentic. And I think it's, you know, you're aware of, I mean, you are like a comic, hyper aware of who you are, your place in the world. And so you're gonna, you know, be running that. Wait, I forget my whole train of thought here.
If you put too much like disclaimers into it, or just like disclaimers, and I know you do.
Oh yeah, but I like that. That's what I was sorry. Your book wasn't like, it wasn't self-conscious in that way. Which I mean, you can only be sort of as woke as you are, and to push it any more than that, and being an ally to anybody is a constant negotiation. And you're someone who I think of as an ally to you know, to Black people, to the environment, to, you know, all these things. And that's where you are right now. And it's a constant
Yeah, well, let's
negotiation.
not go into allyship because, you know, we already probably got canceled for talking about autism. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've been canceled many times. And so,
it's something I live in deep. I wake up every day thinking I'm going to be like Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
But are you like censoring yourself like when you're doing anything?
No. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty, yeah, like I keep it pretty real about right where I am. Yeah, because I just feel like people can tell if, you know, it's like there's things like I care about the environment and climate change, of course. It's not the number one thing on my mind, even though it should be. It's the biggest thing, and I know that, and you know, but but I just think you can tell when someone's like being real about things they're caring about versus trying to get it right. And I just think I think your book is so, for someone who's so self-aware, it's just so not self-conscious and so authentic. Like one of my favorite stories from the book, one of the essays, is you being a PA on Curb. And the raffle situation. And I'm like saying out loud, like, no, you know, like to be that honest, like that's the only kind of book that I really want to read. Like a lot of funny women have written books that I don't think you're not afraid to let yourself be vulnerable, which is a rare thing for a comic. You know, like there's a lot of great comics and they get really good at structure and they can write a great joke, but when it's time for them to like have a moment of self reflection, it's like I feel like it's limiting. And that's why I feel like you have like what would be really an interesting grip on who you would wind up developing into as a stand-up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen for me. And it's sad because that could have been like a path that I maybe should have taken instead, or maybe not. And
I think I started stand-up when I was like 23, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know you feel like you're 100, but you are, like, that's the thing with this book. It's like, it's so, I just related to it so much. But like, you know, when I wasn't so old. What's a basic?
A basic is like part of the masses, like someone who follows like every trend and doesn't really have much critical thought.
Oh, I wanted to admit something.
You're not a basic. Yeah. What?
No, I mean I'm from Long Island. So
just sat there silently, like
just like
I don't. That's great that you're from Long Island.
I wanted to say this. I wrote genius thought.
Yeah.
Genius thought. One of the most telling examples of how easy men have it during sex is that women have to focus with all their might on coming and men just have to focus on not coming. What a great metaphor for the whole
thing.
Shebang. Yeah, like you have such I mean there's like, I know this isn't the terminology that I mean I know you identify as a feminist, but you know, but this is a very feminist book. And
I feel like I'm going to be slammed for like toxic femininity. It's so unfeminine.
The thing is, if you try, just don't try. You can't control any of this.
Yeah, I know.
You can't. Like, just let go. I mean, I don't know if that's really possible to do, but it's like just let it all. It's all going to happen to you. People are going to get mad. They're going to yell at you. They're going to trash you. So what? Who cares? Who cares? You know? But so I want to know, when did you notice, you wrote in the beginning, you're like, okay, the book should be narrated by a man so that you believe it, you know, like, not, I'm paraphrasing, but when did you when's your like your earliest memory you remember of being like, this isn't a fair, and again, I'm just talking about men and women. It's much worse. We can all agree for black and brown women and black and brown people in general, of course. But you, as a woman, when did you feel like the women folk are supposed to be quiet and we're supposed to trust the men?
This is pretty late in the game because for whatever reason, but it really wasn't until I like kind of started working in the TV industry and started getting a bunch of notes on scripts, which were like, this isn't a likable character. She's too mean, or she doesn't like things, and no one's gonna like someone who doesn't like anything. And I'm like, it's funny that this person hates everything.
I love that.
But there were so many times when, before we filmed my like failed Amazon pilot, they were like, be really like, try to be not too aggressive. Like when
and you're like, that's the exact opposite.
But what ended up happening was like, I took it so to heart because I really wanted to make everyone happy that I kind of did become like a little bit like too sensitive in it and like on the nicer side, which wasn't the character. And then it ended up being like, oh, it feels like everyone's being like mean and she's like not mean enough, like in comparison.
Yeah. That's such a classic like note that you will learn from. What you learn, I feel like what we learn over and over again is, oh wait, it's saying people's screens are frozen. I don't know if they're messing with us, but I feel like over and over again it's just
really for the best.
See, that's a quick, funny
so you're looking
thing to
at
say. I'm sorry, bitch. Oh yeah, listening to your instincts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've all done that. It's like there's just no. It's like you just have to learn these lessons in real time. Like you have to let someone just be like, what if she was like owned a flower store? You know, you have to just be like, and then it's like no. And also, yeah, that's what we're told as women. You have to be likable. You have to, you know, people won't forgive you for. But also, and that's another thing I related to in this book so much is like being someone who has never been that concerned with being that likable.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that unnerves people. For when women are like that, they're not used to it. They're used to it with men. And I'm sure that's happened to you too. Like even like, you know, other straight women will like kind of like almost start to flirt with you because they're used to someone with your personality type that they want to like being a guy. So they almost like flirt. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm a little bit lost.
You're a little lost. So some women over the years, straight women, have flirted with, like, have like almost like flirted with me as a way to like, cause they want me to like them.
Yeah.
Is it
I think I do that to you. I've done that to you a lot.
No, people will do that to you. I could see people doing that
I've
to you.
told this to you before, but every time we're together, my personality actually like shrinks down because I'm like I'm like really like sensitive to energy, and you have like such a big personality, and so to make room for both of us, I like really shrink down.
Oh no, I hate that.
So maybe that is like what other women are doing with you.
No. Like, I'm not doing a good job describing it, but I hate that. I don't like that I have a big personality that doesn't leave room for you to be yourself.
That's hey, that's on me. That's on me.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you about talking shit about your friends.
Yes, I really wanted to talk to you about that
as
too.
a comic, like your job is essentially to like observe the people around you and kind of dissect their personalities and like kind of explore what's wrong with people. And so how did you obviously like have friends, and
I do have some friends.
What's the line for you? Like I have an essay where I talk about like the etiquette of shit talking, like what crosses the line. It does feel like there's an invisible line, and something I could really genuinely feel like you can, like your talking shit doesn't exist until someone finds out about it. And then when someone finds out, you're like as exposed as a person could possibly be. It's like, oh, you know me now, and there's no coming back from me.
Well, first of all, what your friends did
like
to
your
you,
boyfriend catching you take a shit. Like it's really the same thing. It's over.
What your friends did to you was that middle school or high school?
It was high school.
That was so uncool. Like that is on them. And to repeat someone like some shit they talked, like I was just so with you about that. And I love talking shit. You know that. Like I love talking shit. And if and there was one part in that essay where you're like, and like I kind of was like, I think she's cute. Like you were like, I'm not gonna talk shit, and you just kind of wrote something positive. And you were like, that's the most unforgivable thing you can do. And I was like, yes, you're so right. And there's nothing that feels worse than when you're like, you know, like I have full text chains that are we just send each other stuff that annoys us, you know, like just people's posts and whatever. And some are just about one person's posts, you know, like that's all we send to each other is like, did you see this?
Yeah.
And
well, that's what's so great about social media now is because we can all talk shit about people we don't know, but like feel like we know.
Yeah, it's a good point.
You can't talk shit about people without knowing certain things about them or like how they behave. So that's for me and not talking shit about my friends because I can talk shit about all these strangers.
I can only be friends with people who talk shit. And like, no, actually my friends I grew up with, like one of them is like the sweetest, you know, she would never really talk shit about anyone. And like, but that's like my first friend, you know, but at this point in life, we have to be able to all talk shit together or I really cannot be involved in that friendship.
Yeah, we would generally have nothing to talk about.
Okay, wait. Speaking of talking shit, we're going to play a little game of fuck, kill, marry.
Okay, isn't it fuck, marry, kill? Like,
fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. No, you're totally right. I don't know.
Owen, do you know that I shared a video of Owen on my Instagram?
That was the nicest thing that anyone has ever done for me, and I was adopted at birth, so thank you so much.
No, it was like, this video got 2 million views in 1 hour. It was like on and on and on and on.
And I was like, him. Very cool.
No, it's like, he's a star. You know that I think he's a star. I tried to make a show with both of you as soon as I met you guys. So
we thought that we had better things in store for us than working with Amy Schumer.
I was like, I'll just produce and I will keep my trap shut. You know, I just was like, I still want to do that, by the way. But
well, we would be so lucky. We would be so lucky.
Yeah, this needs to be a show. This is a show.
What's going on with your show? Thank you though for saying that.
That's my water, but you can
I'm gonna shoot it in starting in April.
Wow.
Okay. Who am
Are you in it? Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's embarrassing that
Even though being on camera, it's like, you know, it's like, and now it's, you know, I'm how am I not Mitch McConnell? Like
you look actually gorgeous.
At what point am I Mitch McConnell? By the way, everybody tell everyone you know in Georgia to vote.
100%.
Vote.
Get out.
Okay.
And speaking of voting, okay. So fuck, kill, marry.
We only did it with comedians.
Oh, great.
Thought that was on brand for you. And by the way, when we like looked for people to do this with, we were looking at female comedians because we wanted to mix it up. Really not that many, just a couple, and you're one of them.
Okay, so it's female comics and I have to decide who I'm gonna fuck, marry,
it's not just female. It's mostly male comics because there's really not that many female comics, I feel.
Oh God, okay.
Okay, so here we go. Ready? Aziz Ansari, Chris D'Elia, and Louis C.K.
That's so uncool. That is so uncool.
You have to answer it too.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass.
What? I'll do it. Marry Louis, fuck Chris D'Elia, and kill Aziz Ansari. Pretty easy. Even though Aziz Ansari is actually the most innocent one out of all of them. I think.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
Accusations.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I mean.
You plead the fifth.
Yeah, I just had to pass on that one.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Jerry Seinfeld, Bill Burr, and Adam Sandler.
Easy.
Okay. I'll marry Jerry because he's my friend, and Jess Seinfeld has been looking for another wife for him for a long time. She thinks he deserves to have affairs and spouses and.
That's so awkward, but I'm here for it. I love it.
No, but she's just funny. She's like, I tell him have affairs. Like, you've had a great life. You've been a great husband. You know, she's joking. I mean, someone's gonna read this and be like, meh.
No.
So I'm marrying Jerry, and then who else was it?
Bill Burr, Adam Sandler.
Okay, I will kill Bill Burr, and I'll have sex with Adam Sandler.
Why are you killing Bill Burr?
Just because of the nature of that list.
Yeah.
And there's some, and I'm also like, I don't know how you feel, but right now, like, I think Bill is probably one of the funniest comedians of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like, anyone who's kind of hanging on to the, like, I miss the old days when we used to be able to do this, like, I'm just like, evolve.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, I'm not really interested in hearing your content right now.
I feel like humor, it's like you have to be edgy and you have to be able to make fun of people, but we do have to change. You have to evolve with the times and who we make fun of.
Yeah.
So make fun of different, like make fun of influencers, like I do.
And we just need to be like constantly educating ourselves, so we make sure that like the jokes are actually funny and that it's not based on some shit we grew up with that's actually like truly offensive and not funny.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, option 3. Chelsea Handler, Sarah Silverman, Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan? What is that list?
Okay, that's a really random list. Oh my God. I'm going to Jim Gaffigan's dead, as we know. I've killed him. He died. Thank you for making this one so easy. I will absolutely fuck Sarah. Like, I want to fuck Sarah,
Yeah.
And Chelsea, I would love to marry. We would just watch so much MSNBC and just drink so much and have so much pot in her bed.
I think that's good. That sounds about right, Cazzie?
That feels good to me.
There's someone I'd marry, but she like talks about poop too much.
Oh,
it's on her mind. It's on her mind.
She's always talking about poop.
Like good about like what is she saying? Like good things or just like poop in general?
Like poop jokes.
Oh, I like it.
I mean, poop is
What would you say your like main thing you joke about is?
Like indiscrepancies between men and women, and I think sexually is a good way to is like a good is a good way to exemplify that. Like there, there's so much in your book that I was just like, I can't stop saying it, related to it so hard, especially with like gender roles with sex and all that stuff. But
true. It's unbelievable. The book is so honest and true and relatable and wow.
I'm sorry, like find people that don't love you then.
I agree.
It's like here's the thing. I saw you two and I watched your videos and I thought these are truly funny people. And that's it for me. And that's the
turn this off. Seriously, turn this off.
No, that's the beginning, that's the middle, and that's the end for me, because that's really what I care about.
Away from this event, you guys, it's not going to be that my dad has autism. It's going to be that Amy Schumer thinks we're funny. So please remember that.
I think you're both stars.
And this ring light is doing it for us. I'm sorry.
Ring light for life. I brought out my ring light for you.
You look great. We have one more for you.
A blotchy neck.
It's pretty embarrassing to use a ring light though, like with the thing in the eye. I really try to avoid it.
Oh yeah, look.
You don't.
No, you don't have it,
Amy. I can see it.
No one would ever suspect that you would use a ring light.
I know. People always
use one, and no one will.
Whenever I've been photographed by paparazzi, they go, "In no makeup," and I'm like, "I was wearing a lot of makeup."
That's so rude.
It's so wrong. It's hurtful. So rude. It's hurtful.
We have one more.
Oh,
there's two more.
Which one should we go with?
There's two more.
Oh, do you want to do them?
Jeff Ross, Joe Rogan, or Ricky Gervais?
Oh my God. You guys are so... You guys are mean. Like, you're a mean group. Ross, Joe Rogan, Ricky Gervais. I guess marry Ricky, because we'll, like, laugh. And fuck Joe Rogan, because that seems fun.
Yeah.
And then I have to kill Jeff, even though I do love him. Gotta kill him.
Yeah, someone had to die. And then there's Maya Rudolph, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler.
Oh my God.
The trifecta?
Yeah.
The holy grail? This is hard. This is really hard. This is really hard. No. I mean, I want to marry and fuck all of them. I'm sorry. I can't.
Okay,
I can't.
No, we do too. We do too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some audience questions that I'm
Cool.
going to ask both of you.
Okay.
So from Catherine, how did you both know you were ready to write your books? What's your advice for aspiring writers?
You go first, Kaz.
Aspiring writers.
But first, how did you know you were ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm still not ready. Like I just did it. Like there's no being ready.
You are ready. You
Um,
are ready. I've only loved like a book like this, like, you know, by maybe like 3 other times in my life. I would say I really loved Lena's book. I loved Tina's book. I love this book. I mean, I love other books, but I mean like autobiographical essays, you know.
It is weird because you read books of essays, and they're very similar in terms of like the context of them.
But some people don't really let themselves be vulnerable enough or really admit the unappealing, controversial things. And you can sniff it out when somebody's doing that. And when Gary Shandling, R.I.P., once said to me, you can pick any 2 pages of a script and know if the writer is really going for it. You can tell when work is inspired, don't you think?
Yeah, it's
like you can tell.
I also think in terms of like at least screenwriting, someone will write a script and I don't know. I've this has happened once, but it feels like it happens all the time. Where like I read their script and I didn't feel like something was realistic, and they were like, "No, but it really happened. Like it really happened." And I'm like, "That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Have something. It has to be a good story. It has to mean something."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my advice. Is that it has to
have happened.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I have a question for Kaz.
That's a funny bit is just like you like have your friend interpreting for you but getting it like so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what she's saying is she's thirsty and you're like, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, this is from Zizi. My name is Zizi, which means penis in French.
Oh,
I think of you as a kindred spirit since you have a similar situation. I assume that you sometimes get hit with, did you know Cazzie means penis in French? Or in Italian, sorry. And I'm wondering if you have thought of a good response to this.
Okay,
if so,
this is
they will
interesting.
steal it.
First of all, I'm pretty sure I've looked this up a couple of times because I have gotten this a bit. Penis in Italian is actually cazzo, so it was really close.
That's the same thing.
But also, Amy, you can speak to this.
This is a sore subject for me.
You named your kid Genital by accident.
What? Wait, what happened?
I may have. Okay, I know this is all hearsay.
Yeah.
But I may have named my son Genital
by accident.
I don't.
By accident.
You don't know this?
Wait.
Okay, so Jean is my son's name. That was Chris's mom who passed away. Her name was Jean. So it's Jean, and then my favorite comedian and a family friend is Dave Attell. So we made his middle name Attell. We thought that was cool. We realized a month in, we named our son Genital.
And you've since changed the name.
We have.
Yeah.
I'm not too proud. I wasn't too proud to notarize a name change.
Of course. Genital?
Can you imagine you're a new parent? I mean, that is the most vulnerable time of your life. But I also wanted to say this. Your love for your cat, Link, is it Link?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say, oh my God, the love you have for your baby is so much more. Because I think, the thing is, I love, like my dog, Tatiana. I would stare at her. Same thing. I like to smell her mouth. I love her. Yeah. But when Jean was born, I was almost like confused why she was here. So it replaced that love. You know, she still sleeps with us every night, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You actually one time, do you remember? Well, of course you remember. One time you and I met up. This is a white privilege moment. We met up on paddle boards.
God,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Really rough week on Twitter, Amy.
Why are you doing this?
No, I just have to say, you and I one time,
I
and my dog dove in to the pond.
And then she had to jump in after.
And then I had to jump out. Okay, that's it. But anyway, look, you are honest about your privilege in the book, and I really appreciate that. And you're not like, and you will be hated for that forever. And just, and it doesn't matter.
This is kind of unrelated, but still kind of related. Was there ever a time where you felt like you did too much press? Like, obviously you want people put a lot of work into it, and you want to sell it, and you want people to see it, but you don't want to cross that line where it's like, you're so fucking annoying, like you need to stop. Like, was there a moment like that for you? Because I feel like I've surpassed that.
Have you reached saturation point?
And it's still coming, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, that is a lesson I had to learn the hard way, because everyone just tells you, and it's again that lesson of, I should have just listened to my instincts. Your instincts tell you. They tell you. I've gotten in so much trouble with Vogue over the years for talking about the Met Ball, whatever. But I remember like my publicist at the time was like, "You got the cover of Vogue," and I was like, I don't relate to that. You know what I mean? I mean, you know me. Like, I am not. Whatever that was not on my vision board growing up, you could say. And I was like, am I sure that sends the right message? And they are empowering to women. They've had incredible women on the cover. That's just not like, and just, it was like, yes, say, you're very lucky to have these opportunities. And they make you feel like you need to dress up and look like, if you do a morning show, you have to dress up like you're a host on the morning show. If you do a late night show, it's like you put on these uniforms and all these costumes that aren't who you are, and you get kind of run through the system.
I will say, I think you both do a really good job of just staying true to yourself in terms of.
The problem is you really feel like it. Like, every time I've done something now, I see what someone could make fun of me. It's like, oh, I'm so anxious. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I'm Cazzie. And like, now I really feel like I am that, but like, I can't help it. And I just know that it's like,
I know. And look, Chris Rock had a quote that he said one time, where he goes, if ignorance is bliss, then what's the opposite of that? Comedians notice every little fucking thing, every detail, it's hell. It's hell. So you can't turn it off. I mean, you cannot turn it off. So it's like, you are going to be dissecting everything, but I mean, that is just, I wish I could just fast forward to you learning, like, just skipping that, just skip 10 years of looking at that and trying to get it right.
I ask Owen every 10 minutes, like, everyone thinks I'm a loser. Like, everyone thinks I'm a loser.
It is. She texts me in the middle of the night. Everyone thinks I'm a loser. Like, voice memo. I'm like, oh god.
But you know how self-absorbed people are. No one's thinking about us.
Yeah, no,
they're thinking about themselves. But which is why this book is so great, because you can relate to this. If people are honest with themselves, everyone can relate to this, I know I can.
I agree.
Let me look. Okay.
We have one more question. We have two more questions. For both of you. This is from Molly. My boyfriend of 4+ years dumped me and met someone else on Bumble within 2 weeks. They recently moved in together, and I'm now living at home with my parents, single. Any advice on how to get over a breakup? Next question.
No, I know. I really, no, I mean, first of all, I'm sorry that is going on. That's
horrible.
I mean, like, what would you say to your little sister? It's like, it feels like your whole world. This is a comforting thought to me. It feels like your whole world. And then, like, Manhattan is a good example. You walk around Manhattan, if you live there a long time, you go, oh God, I'm that corner. That's where I had my heart broken. And we had this, and then time passes and you go, oh, I have new memories of that corner, and just, it's gonna pass. It just feels so awful when you're in it. Just listen to music and just breathe. Just like
Great.
It sucks
get
because
through it.
I really can't listen to music. And it's not that I don't like music, Owen. It's just that I can't listen to music.
No, she can't sing along with anything. It's
No, but it also gets stuck in my head for like,
oh yeah, she can't. Yeah, that's
I
another
can't
thing.
listen. Like if someone puts music on, if I walk by a store and there's music playing, I won't sleep that night till 4 in the morning.
Something's gonna happen that's gonna change your tune about all of this, and you're just gonna. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, you're on a plane. It starts plummeting.
Thank God.
Aren't you gonna think? Aren't you gonna think?
Finally.
Aren't you gonna think like, why did I waste so much time worrying? Aren't you? Aren't you gonna be like, God?
No. Yeah.
Wait, let me say this is my favorite
I know there was no other option.
This really made me laugh. I'm pretty sure people sage their homes after I leave. That
everyone this is gonna sage.
They're gonna sage their Zooms.
Everyone's gonna sage.
I love this book.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks,
from Elizabeth, do you all ever consider doing something outside of show business?
Yeah, I wish. Like
activist. Look at you, both are activists.
No, okay. I'm not an activist.
You are an activist, and Amy's one of the
Posting on
biggest
social
activists
media
we know.
does not make you an activist.
I actually disagree.
One of the first times I met you, you tried to save a bee that was dying. Cazzie.
So
there was I saw a bee and I immediately thought like, how do we kill it? And you were like, I think it's injured. Like you were gonna bring it to a bee sanctuary. You're like, you are a sensitive, sweet soul. And let me read this.
Bees are going to die from global warming, and we do have to try and save them. Even one that's in your pool is struggling, you should get it out of the pool. Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that in the future, they'll talk about this era as an insane time where people had these things called phones. They would hold them constantly and look at them every second they weren't doing anything else. They would sleep with them next to their heads at night. People would get in car accidents because they couldn't stop looking at them, and no one could form sentences. And then they all went blind from staring into the evil screens all day and died off from radiation poisoning before society even fully collapsed. The end. I love this. I really love this. I mean, it like you're also, I'm sorry, a beautiful writer. The imagery, it's like I'm excited for I'm excited to read the next thing already. I'm ready for more.
She wants to see.
I'm ready for more.
Amy, come on. I feel like that's like an insane spotlight. Can we do something about this?
I think you
Stage
look good.
Manager.
We have a question from Samantha. What is the biggest mistake you've learned from? How did I say it like that?
No, what do you think, guys?
The thing about the internet, which is so scary, especially when you have like insane shame, is that everything is so permanent. And so it really amplifies that emotion, you know, and we're not acclimated to it. So we're constantly all making mistakes. And like, you saw what happened to Chris Evans. Like he posted a photo of his.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. You did.
Of his penis?
Yeah. You didn't know about this?
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
I actually was shocked that like exhibitionists didn't all like start posting photos of like their tits and being like hashtag like justice for Chris Evans. But so the biggest mistake I've learned from is that things you do are just like insanely permanent. Our entire childhoods are recorded. Our personalities are recorded. And who wants their 13, like their, I don't even want my 20-year-old personality like online.
That is hell. That is hell. And that was not, we didn't have Facebook or whatever when I was younger. And thank God, I definitely wouldn't be here right now. But it's just, everyone is just thinking about themselves.
What's been your like worst professional moment to date, you feel, and your best one?
My worst professional moment. I mean, people were really mad at me. I made a video. I was filming a movie with Goldie Hawn in Hawaii, and we made a video to Beyonce's song Formation. It was like there was like a lot of female crew and cast, and it's like super diverse. crew and cast, and we the album Lemonade was out. I had just gone through a breakup, like we were just really feeling it, and we made like a video, and people did not want it, and they were like, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, but I love Beyonce. And they were like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right, it's just like learning from it and like keeping it rolling. And you know, and then my best, I'm really proud of an episode of my sketch show called 12 Angry. It was a remake of this movie 12 Angry Men.
Amazing.
And I wrote and directed that one, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I am at 8 I'm supposed to do a next gen. I'm supposed to get next gen fired up to phone bank.
I think we're done. Aren't we done? I think we're done. An activist.
No one to continue.
Oh, thank you all for such a fantastic event. I really enjoyed it. If you have yet to purchase No One Asked for This, or you'd just like to purchase another copy, there's a green button at the bottom of your screen which says Purchase No One Asked for This with a signed book plate. Just click there. And on that note, thank you everyone and have a great night.
Thank you so much.
We love you, Amy.
I love you guys, and thank you for hosting us, Strand.
Thank you.
Hang in there.